How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com, and today I want to talk about 5 things that will keep you drinking when you want to stop. Sorry about the sound out here today. I'm going to try and cut out most of this, but we've got a lot of cicada. The first thing that's going to stop you from quitting drinking alcohol is you and the blame game. You know, you're blaming everything. You're blaming people around you. You're blaming your environment. You're blaming the time. You're blaming the air. You're blaming whatever it is that comes forward. You're blaming that you can't do it. You know, it's not the right time to do it. It's not the right moment to do it. You've got too many problems at this time. You've got too much stress. You've got too much worry. You can't relax. It's all bullshit. It's all excuses. You can't blame the environment. You can't blame other people. Everyone's got their own life. Everyone's got their own things to do. Everyone's got their own problems. You know, I used to blame so much. I used to say, well, these are my friends and all my friends drink. This is where I go to relax at the end of a hard day. I used to blame my job and say my job was too stressful, you know, and that was how I ended up my day, was relaxing. I used to blame my life. I used to blame the fact that my wife died. I used to blame the fact that I was a single parent. I used to blame so many different things. And it wasn't that I, you know, immediately put out there that I was to blame or these things were to blame, but it was just an excuse. You know, that was the reason why I used to drink. That was the reason why I used to drink. You know, that kept me revolving around that moderation lifestyle for so long, because I always thought that alcohol was a part of who I was. Alcohol was a part of my core as a person. And if only I could cut back on the alcohol and not drink as much, I'd be okay. But it's a lie, it's bullshit, and it's something that will hold you back over and over and over again. Which brings me on to the second thing, which are your thoughts. You know, this should be really up there on the top, because no matter what else happens, it's all in your thoughts. Your thoughts are the things that control everything else, you know. And people stop drinking and they say to themselves, I want to stop drinking now. I said it to myself so many times as well. Like I say, the moderation thing, it was a trick that I played on my own mind. When you start drinking first, you're young, you can tolerate a lot more than you can when you get older. So maybe the hangover is just a fuzzy feeling in the morning. But as you get older, your body gets more sensitive to the consequences of drinking alcohol. The hangover gets worse. You know, your sleeping gets worse. You wake up in the morning not rested. You wake up feeling horrible, and that hangover just extends into the day and maybe into the second day, and the more you do it, maybe even into the third day, and eventually it just becomes one big hangover. You're trying to cure the hangover. So you know that there's something wrong with what you're doing, because from day one your body rejects the alcohol. As soon as you drink it, you know, your body wants to throw it back up again. So you know that there's something wrong, fundamentally wrong with it, and there's a conflict inside your mind all the time. And you use your thoughts to push down the realistic parts of the drinking, you know, what's actually happening, and you make excuses for them. So you and your thoughts are number 2. Number 3 are you and your actions. At the end of the day, your actions are the thing that follows through in your thoughts. So your actions are the thing that keeps this addiction going, keeps the habit building up and building up. You're the one that picks up the glass time and again. You're the one that puts it to your lips, and you're the one that takes sip after sip after sip. You're the one that builds the addiction. You're the only one who can put that stuff into your mouth, and you're the only one who can stop doing it. You know, and at the end of the day, stopping drinking alcohol is all about just reversing that one simple action, stopping that one simple action. You know, if you don't do that, if you never do that again, you've quit drinking alcohol, and there's nothing more to quitting drinking alcohol than that. You know, there's a whole lot more to changing who you are, and changing your mindset, and changing the way you think about alcohol, changing the way you think about yourself and your life so that you don't want to drink again. That's a different story. But the actual quitting drinking alcohol is only based around that one fundamental thing. Don't put the alcohol into your mouth. So number 3 is you and your actions. Number 4 is you and your attitude. Attitude is everything. You know, if you don't like something in your life, you change it. If you can't change it, you change your attitude towards it. That's the old maxim. And as I said, you are the only one that can possibly change the fact that you're putting alcohol into your mouth. If you want to stop drinking alcohol, don't put it in. But we have this attitude about alcohol. You know, it's going to stop us from doing things. It's going to stop us from having fun. You know, the fear of missing out is one of the big things that drives people back to the alcohol later on. You know, you can have that pain in the initial period that will get you across the line, and you know, you stop drinking for a while. But once that pain is gone, what's to keep you stopping in the long term? You know, your attitude. You know, your attitude. If you say to yourself, I don't care what it takes I don't care what I have to change in my life. I'm never going back to that old life. Then guess what? Guess what will happen? If you have the attitude of, I'm missing out on something, and why can they drink and I can't drink? Why can they do this and I can't do that? It's just a simple fact of life. You hear people all the time pointing to this person over here and going, well, look how skinny she is and she eats what she wants. You don't know what she eats. It's just an attitude. It's an excuse to look at something else and blame something else out of your side and say somebody else has got something better than you have. So number 4 is you and your attitude. Number 5 is you and your responsibility. That responsibility, in order to make sincere, long-term, lasting changes in your life, you have to take responsibility for everything that you do. You have to say, well, no matter what happens in my life, the response, the ability to respond is mine. How I respond is up to me. Do you know what I mean? If something goes wrong in my life, it's my fault. It's my responsibility to look at that and to see how I can alter things around. If something goes right in my life, it's my responsibility to look at that and see how I can replicate that. But it all comes down to you and 100% responsibility. If you take 1% off that and you have 99% responsibility, that 1% is enough to turn your back on something and make an excuse about something. So you have to look at it from that perspective all the time. So at the end of the day, no matter what way you look at this, everything that stops you from drinking alcohol is down to you. So all those 5 things, they're all down to you. Nobody else outside of yourself. It's what's inside that matters. Any change is going to come from the inside, not from the outside. That's the problem with drinking alcohol, is that we're looking for a solution outside of ourselves for something that's going on inside, and we need to be looking inside ourselves for the solution, but we don't. That's the problem with instant gratification, is we're always looking for a solution outside. You get people going to the doctors and they've got so much of a big problem in their lives because of their lifestyle, because they're not eating the right food, because they're not exercising, because they're drinking and smoking and doing all these things. And they expect the doctor to be able to give them a magic pill to cure everything. It's not going to happen like that. Nothing from the outside is going to cure what's going on the inside. You need to do that yourself. And here's a bonus one, number 6. Number 6 is believing that you need alcohol for anything, right? This is something that will really keep you coming back to alcohol over and over again. Like I say, there's a threshold that you cross at the beginning because you've got a certain amount of pain in your life. So you have this pain and you want to start moving forwards and you want to get rid of the pain. We have a sort of a balancing act throughout our lives of pain and pleasure. You try and get a lot of pleasure and you try and get rid of the pain. But as soon as the pain disappears, the motivation also disappears. You've got the motivation in the beginning because you've got the pain. Once the pain is gone, the motivation is gone. So how do you keep this going in the long run? You've got to get rid of every thought that you have that there is any benefit to drinking alcohol. Whether you think alcohol is there for sleeping, or whether you think it's there to help you to relax or socialize or whatever it is, you've got to get those thoughts out of your mind. Alcohol is not going to help you doing anything. There are far, far, far better ways of sleeping, of relaxing, of helping you to socialize, of helping you to do anything in life. Alcohol is an exterior solution to an interior problem, and it's a bad solution as well. It's not really a solution. It's something which will give you sort of that instant gratification, but it's a momentary thing. As soon as it's down in your belly, you forget about it, but it's in there and it's doing the damage. That's what our mastermind coaching program is all about. It's about changing minds, changing attitudes, changing thoughts, changing the way you think about things, changing the way you think about those core beliefs about alcohol, removing those core beliefs and discarding them and, building new ones, and, get into a place where you're thinking healthy thoughts, where you're thinking about life, you're thinking about yourself, like, you can do anything without alcohol. You can do anything without any drugs. That anything that you can do, anything that you need in life is there inside of yourself. And it's no matter what you do in life, success comes from the inside, comes from perseverance, it comes from commitment, it comes from having that responsibility. It comes from doing the hard graft day after day after day, step after step after step, taking one step up, rethinking, taking another step, rethinking, and doing it like that. This is what it's all about. That's what the Mastermind Coaching Program is all about. If you want to get the $1 trial, there's a link down below. We're going to stop this soon, so the $1 trial is gone. It's well worth it. It takes 7 days for $1. As long as you cancel before the 7 days is up, you won't be charged anything more. Have a good day, take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon. All right, onwards and upwards. Bye now.